Hi, I'm Noah, and today I want to provide some support to those of you who are struggling with fear and anxiety about the coronavirus. So, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world right now about coronavirus, from the coronavirus, whether it's the deaths or the sickness or losing income, losing our jobs, being isolated. Um, there's just a lot, and it can bring up a lot of stuff within us. And I'm going to scratch the surface a little bit today, and hopefully it can be helpful for you. So first of all, within my own experience, I'm in Bali right now, as you can see. I'm setting this video up in nature to kind of provide a little bit of like relaxation and calmness from Mother Earth, from nature, in support of calming our nervous systems with this video. So even though I'm here in Bali and seemingly like this beautiful nature paradise, um, the fear still comes up in me. Over the last week, even though I've been mostly calm within myself, I've had these intense waves of fear come over me. The fear of losing my family, the fear of never seeing my family again, the fear of the money system collapsing, the fear of dying, the fear of sickness, the fear of, at one point I thought I had the virus, the fear of being ostracized and outcasted and people being afraid to talk to me or see me. Um, just all sorts of fears coming up. And yeah, fear of looting was a big one, was super intense. Fear of violence, the fear of just a lot of people being in pain. So, so when these fears come up in me, um, they don't last very long, usually only a few minutes. And today I'm going to speak a little bit about how to get the most out of this. Like it's seemingly a terrible situation. It seemingly just has negative impacts, but there's an alternative perspective. There's an alternative way of seeing this, that it's happening for us, not to us, that it's an opportunity to grow. It's an opportunity to feel more safe within ourselves. It's an opportunity to come closer to ourselves, feel more centered within ourselves, and live more in harmoniousness, in harmony with our surroundings, whether that's nature or whether that's with other people. So, in this moment, I'd like you to connect with your breath. Just breathe for a moment. Right now, you're safe. Whether you have the virus or not, whether you have money or not, whether you have food or not, right now, you're safe. In this exact moment in time. So just breathe into that. I'm safe. Now. Say it to yourself. I'm safe. Now. Vocal exhale. I'm safe right now. My breath is working. My breathing is functioning. My organs are functioning. I'm taken care of in this exact moment, right now. You can also hear the water flowing maybe in the background here. And just feel the water flowing like your breath, kind of. It's like this, it just flows without you needing to do anything. You don't need to make your breath happen, it just happens. You're being supported in this moment by your breath. And feel your feet on the floor. Connect with your feet, become aware of your feet, particularly the bottom of your feet. Become aware of the texture, the sensations that you feel on the bottom of your feet. And feel how the bottom of your feet is connected down to the ground, to the floor. And underneath the floor something else and something else. And underneath that is the earth, soil, dirt. And underneath that is all sorts of different layers of the earth. And just imagine that you're connected down to the earth, deeper and deeper into the earth. That your feet extend down through the earth, all the way to the core, to the lava, molten core of the earth. Just imagine. Don't worry about what you're supposed to get from this, what's meant to happen, what you're meant to feel. Just imagine that your legs, that your feet extend down to the core of the earth. You are here. You are safe. You are okay right now. Now, fear may come up. Anxiety may come up. Negative thoughts may come up. Thoughts about the future may come up. Hysteria, panic may come up about the future, about what may happen. I understand all of that. I do. But how are we going to meet it? How are we going to meet our feelings and our thoughts? What we need to do with our thoughts and what we need to do with our feelings is very, very different. There's sort of two levels, two dimensions to fear, two dimensions to anxiety. And the first one I'm going to talk about is thought. So, what are your thoughts saying about all this? What are the thoughts coming up for you that create anxiety and fear? That you won't have a job, that you won't have food, that you will lose your family, that you won't survive. What thoughts are coming up for you? I want you to take a moment and write down, whether it's in your phone or with a pen and paper, just write down one or two thoughts that come up for you that create anxiety or feel anxious or feel fearful when you think them. I'll give you a moment. The reason why it's important to write it down or helpful to write it down is once it's on paper, we can investigate it more clearly, more easily. When it's in our head, it's very easy to get sucked into it, for it to feel real, to not be able to gain an objective, realistic perspective of it. So in the meantime, we'll just breathe. Now, we each have a thought or two that we've isolated that creates some anxiety, that feels fearful when we think it. Now, a lot of this has to do with control, attachment. There's a particular way we make money. There's a particular job we have. There's a particular way we get food, the way we eat. And because it is the way that we have been doing things, the way we have become accustomed to, the way that is familiar to us, it becomes safe. It feels secure. It feels stable. And what happens is we look for our security and stability through the normal, through our normal patterns, routines, and ways of doing things. That's normal. That makes sense. But in these times, what the opportunity is to let go of stability, like let go of what we've been holding on to. Like you've been holding on to a pillar. Like imagine you're in a hurricane or you've been holding on to a particular tree. You've been holding on to a particular tree. And with the amount of wind that's blowing, it's very stable to hold on to that tree. Now imagine this wind comes that's so intense, the tree you're holding on to is going to break. And you see it, the cracks are there. Now, what most people do is because they've got so much safety from that tree, maybe you've been holding on to that tree for years, that even though you see the cracks forming, even though you know that it's not going to be able to withstand the wind, or you think it's not going to be able to withstand the wind, you keep holding on. And when we hold on to something that we believe might crack, that we believe might break, that holding on is filled with tension, it's filled with fear, it's filled with anxiousness. And we think that the solution is to hold on tighter, to try to make it stronger. That makes sense. But what I'm going to offer you here is a completely different perspective, an alternative approach that maybe you resonate with and maybe you don't. And that approach is to let go. To let go. To let go of whatever you're holding on to. To let go of whatever you want to stay the same. You want to keep the same income. You want to keep the same house. You want to keep the same food supply. You want to keep the same job. I know it's served you. It's helped you. It's given you stability. It's given you pleasure. It's given you comfort. I know that's what we want. But if life is pulling it away from us, or possibly pulling it away from us, then the holding on, the trying to keep it, creates a huge amount of tension inside of our bodies. And if you want to lose that fear, that tension, that contraction, this is one approach to do it, one that works very, very effectively if you're open to it. To just let go of the normal, let go of what's given stability to you. Now, if you let go of that tree in the wind, what might happen? Maybe I just fall and die. Maybe it takes me over the wind. I have nothing to hold on to. That's possible. That's why it's so unbelievably scary to let go. But what if there's another thicker tree just right around the corner? What if the wind isn't as strong as you think it is and you can let go of the tree and just be solid and your body weight is enough? What if you just fall to the ground and then the wind isn't hitting you? It may seem like the only options for survival, comfort, and safety is to hold on to the tree you're holding on to. But that's like having kind of like looking through a filter. It's not the wider perspective. You're looking through, like zooming in like this. But we want to open up. What are the other possibilities? What are the other perspectives? What is the positive that could come from this? How is this an opportunity? You understand? So you might feel safe with your job, might feel stable with your job, but maybe it's being taken away from you, or possibly being taken away from you. Can you open up to the possibility that another job might be better suited for you? That less income might actually serve you with less responsibility, something you like doing more, so like sacrificing your income, but actually having a job you enjoy more. Maybe it gives you the opportunity to move someplace you've always wanted to move, but you were never willing to quit your job. Maybe your mortgage payments or your rent is too high, and you find stability and safety in your house, but maybe this supports you, is the catalyst to help you to leave a place that you don't actually want to be in or feels too much pressure to be in. Do you understand what I mean here? Maybe the food you're used to getting, it feels comfortable and nice, but maybe this is an opportunity to go on a juice fast or live more simply and just eat fruits. Who knows? There are infinite possibilities of all the people watching this video, and there are infinite solutions, and the solutions have to come from you, but it's about zooming out, seeing the macro instead of the micro. What is possible if I let go? What is possible if I stop holding on to the one thing that I know, the one thing that feels stable? So whatever your mind is saying that outcome would be terrible, open up. Are you sure? Are you sure it can't serve you? Are you sure it won't help you? Are you sure it won't help society? I don't know. How could you know the future? How could you possibly know that it will be bad for you? Even if it's sickness, even if we're scared of death, even if we're scared of sickness, even if we're scared of pain, even if we're scared of losing our family. It triggers deep feelings inside of us. So when I go into those subjects, the thing is sometimes we can't open our mind. We can't open our perspective while the feeling in our body, the fear is so intense. It goes, no, I can't, no. And so that's why we have to meet our body separately than our mind. So our mind, we just open up. Am I willing to let go of this stability? Am I willing to let go of the idea that I know the future? Am I willing to let go of the idea that I know what is best and I know what is bad for my life? And that's beautiful, and that can relax us. So actually, before we go into the body, I want to ask you a question. Look at that piece of paper. Look at what you wrote down. Of what you're afraid of, or what thought creates or perpetuates anxiety. And I want you to ask yourself, is it possible that could lead to something beautiful, enjoyable, more comfortable, relaxing, nice, helpful? Take a moment and just ask yourself. Maybe the first answer is, no, it's terrible, it's bad. I get that. But can you open up? Can you open up to another possibility? And that sort of leads me to this, this belief sometimes that comes up in us is, I'm supposed to be afraid. Or I'm selfish if I view this positively. I should suffer because of all the other people that are suffering. It's selfish to be happy. I'm not allowed to be happy. I'm supposed to stay in this pain. It's kind of like there's this bubble of suffering and drama, and I'm supposed to stay in it. It's selfish to come out. I'm not supposed to come out. I'm supposed to be in this chaos and fear that everyone else is in. You don't have to do that. It doesn't serve. So right now, if I'm stuck in fear, if I'm stuck in drama and suffering, I can't serve you. I can't support you because I need all of my energy for myself to take care of myself. The more free I feel, the more calm I feel, the more I can be of support to others, whether it's physically or just energetically. So, I hope that you were able to open up a little, to open up out of like the micro possibility that there's only one outcome. It's bad. And open up to maybe it can be beautiful if I let go of what is familiar, normal, and stable. So that leads us to the body. Now, when we let go of what feels stable, or when it's possible we'll be forced to let go of something that feels solid and stable, it can feel massively scary, massively terrifying. And so normally, instead of just feeling the fear, feeling the terror, we go into thinking, controlling. So if I feel terrified right now that I will lose my family, what do? What's going on with them? Are they taking all the precautions? Are they staying inside? Are they putting on the mask? Are they doing this? Are they doing that? And that's all controlling. You see, if I'm afraid of a particular outcome, oftentimes the first thing we do is endlessly think about how to make sure that outcome doesn't happen. And that has its place. That can be being responsible. But it can also be completely irresponsible. Because when we're operating from our fear, all our controlling is through a filter. It's not coming from clarity. We're seeing life through the filter of fear, which means we're missing stuff. We're not operating from our true selves, from our nature, from our intuition. We're operating from fear, which isn't serving ultimately. So, and with a job, for example, if we feel fear of losing our job, we might think, how do I keep it? What do I need to do? What's the next job that I can get if I lose this one? It's like it can go right into endless thinking about how to make sure the bad outcomes don't happen. And that's okay. There's no inherent problem with it. I'm getting ants all over me here, sitting in the rice fields. But there's a smoother, easier way to do it. And that is first let go of the fear. First feel the fear. And then any practical thinking is done with precision. It's like, okay, this is what I need to do. Bang, let's do it. Not endless thinking about what do I need to do, which ultimately gets us in like a downward spiral and endless circling. You understand? It's still about, we want to take responsibility, be grounded, and do the necessary things, or do the things we think will be supportive for us, our family, or our community. But it's about coming to it from calmness, coming to it from grounded safety, as opposed to coming to it from endless fear. You understand? So what do we do with the fear? What do we do with this terror and this anxiety? So if you feel brave enough or calm enough in this moment, centered enough in this moment, you can invite up your fear. I'm afraid of sickness. I'm afraid of death. I'm afraid of losing my family. I'm afraid of losing income. I'm afraid of losing money. I'm afraid of losing food. And instead of going into our head thinking, how do I avoid this scenario? We focus on where the fear is, whether it's in our belly, our solar plexus, our chest, our throat. And just let yourself feel it. And it often looks like this, like let ourselves feel the fear. It can seem like hyperventilating, it can seem like deep breaths, but be gentle with yourself. Don't try to feel all of it all at once, because it can be intimidating, it can be too intense for our nervous system. So we want to just take breaths with it, like, and if it starts feeling too intense, stop. Come back to your body, touch your face, like give yourself gentleness, touch your thighs, take a blanket, like hold yourself. In order to let out intense fear, we need to be held within a container of some form of safety, whether we're in our room, whether we have a blanket over us, whether the lights are off, whether the door is locked, whether we have someone we love around us. Sometimes I need my partner. I say, like, so I've been doing fear-based work, like doing a lot of work on fear for years now, so I can handle super intense releases by myself. But even for me, sometimes I ask my girlfriend, like, can you hold me while I'm in this? It's too intense. Can you just put your foot on my leg? Can you cuddle me? Like, it can be super intense. So sometimes it's helpful to have someone there with us if it feels intense. So in this moment, we're inviting up this fear. Every out breath, we want to let out some fear. Maybe even vocalize. Sometimes it comes out like, It can be vocal. It can seem like screaming. It can feel like shaking. It can feel like punching stuff, like, I don't want to feel this, but I can't keep it down anymore. I don't want to keep it down anymore. I don't want to push it down and go into endless thinking. How do I avoid this stuff? Like let it out. Verbalize it, vocalize it, scream, hit your body, like let it out. Sometimes it's helpful to hit your chest, hit your stomach. Not hard, but just tap it, just to like it can activate. Like, we're so used to burying this stuff, denying this stuff, suppressing this stuff. When you hit a spot where we're holding in fear, if we just tap it, it can activate it to come out. But it's so important, I can't emphasize this enough, be gentle on yourself, don't push yourself, because if the fear gets too intense, we disassociate. It can be incredibly scary. It can be too much to handle. Sometimes in the past I would use ice cream or internet or connection or anything that you can, shower, eat, like anything that you can as like a safety, like comforting thing when the fear gets too intense. All of that is welcome. Don't judge yourself for going to things that help you escape the fear. The escapes, things help us escape and distract for a reason. It's an important tool in healing, in helping ourselves. But it's about doing it really, really consciously. Like, how much can I handle of fully feeling, expressing, releasing, allowing the fear? And how much do I need to just, in being gentle with myself, in taking care of myself, do I need to escape? I need the internet right now. I need food right now. I need sugar right now. I need whatever I need. You understand? Be really, really gentle with yourself in this. It's intense. This is root chakra. This is base safety. We're all wired to look for safety outside of ourselves. We're wired to look for safety from money and jobs and partners and so many different types of things. And this is an invitation, this is an opportunity to find safety within ourselves. And the way we find safety within ourselves is mainly, hugely, from noticing when fear comes up. So I notice I'm afraid of losing all my money. I notice I'm afraid of losing my job. I notice I'm afraid of losing my family, who I get safety from also, right? And then instead of going into our head, can I be safe without them? That has its place. Can I be safe without them? Yes, of course. I can be safe without money. I can be safe without it. So one part is understanding intellectually, I can be safe without them. That's important. I can be safe without it. I can get shelter. I can find food. I can do it. I will find a way. And the other part is letting out the fear. Letting out the fear. The fear is ancient. The fear is super ancient, whether it's from our childhood, our ancestors, our collective human conditioning, whatever it is. So, take space for yourself. I didn't give you that much time to let out the fear here, but I hope I created some sort of like path for you, some sort of opportunity for you to stop thinking, stop planning, stop figuring out, and instead feel. It can also be helpful to come into nature, like the trees, the sky, the grass can be super supportive in helping us feel safe enough to let out our fears, to breathe. That's not a panic attack. That's letting out fear. You understand? We don't have to label and say it's bad. Like sometimes letting out fear can be very intense, very rapid breathing. That's okay. You can handle as much as you feel you can handle. Even if it looks like on the surface that it's dangerous. Oh no, I'm dying. Oh no, I can't breathe. It can seem like that, but it's really, really helpful to let out fear, to express it, whether it's verbally or through breath or vocally, whatever. So hi everyone. I know these are hard times, and I'm sorry if you're in a difficult situation, whether that's losing your income or family members or your health. And I completely honor and understand how painful and scary it can be. So everything I say here is not to say that it's not painful, that it's not scary. It is. And these are tools that try to help make it as least painful as possible, or as little painful as possible. We want to make the most of this. We didn't want it, we didn't ask for it, maybe, at least not consciously. But now that it's here, how can we make the most of it? How can we take this opportunity to find more safety within ourselves? To stop our endless, it's normal to work. It's normal to work most of the day. And now maybe with a lot of us, when we're not working, we have so much more time to ourselves that maybe we don't know what to do with. Maybe it makes us go crazy. But it's so important. I spent much of the last 10 years being with myself and not working and meeting the different feelings that arise in me from just stopping. Practically all of us don't know what's inside of us. We don't know how much unworthiness and fear and loneliness is inside of us because we're always doing something. Whether that's working or socializing or watching TV or eating or whatever. We're always doing something. So we don't realize what's inside of us buried. And this situation is an opportunity, or is maybe revealing that there's a lot of emotional stuff inside of us that we've been running from. And it's important to understand that this isn't new. The anxiety you have, it might seem like it's related to what's happening, and in some way it is, but it's more like what's happening is activating fear that was already in us. So fear, for me, fear of losing my family, fear of money system collapsing and losing money, fear of not having food, all of those were fears inside of me. They just weren't activated in the past because there was never a situation where I had such a high potential of losing these things that were giving me an illusion of safety, or maybe even giving me safety in some way. So it's important when we explore this that we understand it's not new. It's not, oh no, new anxieties are coming. This is old stuff finally revealing itself and coming to the surface. And if you meet it, if you take time to feel your fear, express it, allow it, shake it out, verbalize it out, whatever. Even tell someone, I'm so scared, I'm so terrified. Not intellectually, I'm scared. I'm scared of this happening, I'm scared of that happening. That has its place also. But when you share, I'm scared, I can't take it, like this, it might seem like you're weak, or you're fragile, or you're vulnerable, or you're bad in some way, or you're being a victim. You're not. When you're verbalizing in these ways, every word that comes out is the energy of fear coming out, so it's not buried in your system. So allow these feelings. Allow yourself to experience whatever fear is in you. Yeah. So I'm going to try to make another video soon about loneliness, about how to deal with the loneliness and isolation that's coming up with this, and who knows what else I will make videos about, trying to support people in this time. I know it's hard. I wish you all the best. I wish you so much gentleness, so much ease, so much comfort in these troubling times. And if this is helpful for you, please share it with someone else that you think it might be helpful for. Good luck. Speak to you soon. Bye.